You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Let's go to Georgia, where an FBI investigation uncovered text messages from a former Middle Georgia sheriff's deputy bragging about how he had beaten a black person he arrested and planned to charge Black Georgians with felonies to keep them from voting. Cody Richard Griggers was fired by the Wilkinson County Sheriff's Department for affiliating with an extremist chat group called Shadow Moses. He wrote he felt sweet stress relief after he beat the shit out of a black suspect in those chats. Earlier this week, Griggers pleaded guilty in federal court to one count of possession of an unregistered firearm. He faces up to 10 years in prison for the firearm charge. I wonder what the people are going to say. It's only a few bad apples, Teresa.
Yeah, it's just very interesting. I mean, it's also draining, but charging black people with felonies to prevent them from voting is, again, it goes to primary to our last segment where we're talking about they are out front. Conservatives are out front. They're pushing every narrative they can. They're being bold about it. But I don't foresee black advocacy groups and organizations really taking this on the chin and allowing this to happen, because people are understanding where their vote matters. They're understanding that it is their time to allow their voice to be heard. So I think there is probably going to be more to this than really meets the eye that this deputy is doing.
But it's not a surprise. We've seen other chat groups released, Michael, showing what these cops are saying and thinking in them, and they're being who they are. That's why I support the Pentagon and Department of Homeland Security weeding out extremists and going through. That's exactly what should be happening. That should be happening on the state level, the county level, the city level, school police as well. We should be ridding all of these institutions systemic racism, Laura Ingram, as well as all of you crazy Republicans. This is what systemic racism is.
Absolutely, and you know, hopefully Tim Scott is taking notes. Hopefully he doesn't get caught one day and they don't recognize him. Maybe they think he's a much mouth from Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, because if you do a side by side, he does kind of resemble them. But anyway, so when they have these conversations like on Fox News about racism and Ron DeSantis, right? They never define what racism is. You ever notice that? He wants to talk about individuals. Racism is a group-to-group relationship. Racism is a system of advantage and privilege distributed based upon race, which comes out of the ideology of European white supremacy. When you look at something like this, there's a history of felony disenfranchisement. And we see this going back to right after 1870 when the 15th Amendment is ratified, okay? And it's designed to help keep African Americans from being able to vote. Okay, so after the 15th Amendment gave African American men the right to vote, then you start seeing these laws put in place in various states, especially southern states, where you lose your voting rights if you have a felony. Okay, so the question, all the people who say it doesn't, voting doesn't matter, they should ask the question, why is this officer, Cody Griggers, former officer, why is he trying to keep African Americans from voting? So yeah, brother, this is deep, and this is in Georgia, and Georgia is the same state where Ahmaud Arbery was killed, and Georgia is the same state where you have SB 202, which in the state legislature is trying to keep African Americans from voting.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have that you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.